This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
After winning Game 1 2-0, the Carroll Dragons took a 2-0 lead into the sixth inning last night in Game number 2. And that's when the champions out of 8-6A, the Midlothian Panthers, answered back, aided by 3 Carroll errors. The Panthers scored 3 runs and held on to take Game 2 by a score of 3-2. That brings us to today, where the Dragons will turn to the Game 1 starter, as will Midlothian. Who knows how long each young man can go, as the game was shortened. Both threw about 50 pitches on Thursday night. But they both will be on the bump as we get started here in a win-or-go-home situation here in the bi-district round of the playoffs. It's the Carroll Dragons and the Midlothian Panthers, and it's coming your way next on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back here to Quick Trip Park for Game 3 of this best-of-3 series between Midlothian and Carroll. Dragons 21-5 on the year, 8-4, lost a coin toss. The fourth-place finisher out of 7-6A, taking on the champions out of 8-6A, the Midlothian Panthers, 19-4 overall, 11-1. And here's Cantorino's first pitch, and it's in there for strike one. Michael Cantorino, the junior, was dominant. A 7-1 record coming into the other night. Gets the win there to move to 8-1 on the year. And his ERA dropped as well, and he starts out with 2 quick strikes to Zach Humphreys. In 4 innings on Thursday night, he threw 52 pitches, 35 for strikes, struck out 5 batters, allowed 1 to reach on an error, and that's it. Other than that, was perfect. Great 4-inning performance. Let's see how much he has left in the tank, as this one is knocked down by Motley. They're going to peel down, and they're going to say he went around. It's a strikeout. He's swinging. Cantorino K's the first batter in Zach Humphreys, the catcher for the Panthers. And there's one gone here in the top of the first inning. Thomas Lee here with you. Our cameraman is on his way. This game originally scheduled for 7 o'clock tonight, but the coaches tried to move it up to as soon as possible to get ahead of the weather. In fact, they did not even take infield and outfield like teams normally do. And kind of a weird 3-game series is they did not once they resumed Game 1 yesterday. So, in fact, a 3-game series, they only took in and out once, and that was Thursday night. 1-0 pitch from Cantorino. And that one's perfectly placed on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to Kyler Castillo. Cantorino coming into the series, a 1.33 earned run average. That is dropped down lower after a great performance the other day. This is the first hit he's given up of the series as Castillo turns and hammers it through the left side of the infield for a base hit. 1-out single for the Panthers here in the top of the first. Castillo on board, and that'll bring up the shortstop, J.B. Garrett, to 5'8", 155-pound junior. He's 0 for 6 in the series, did reach on an error in Game 2. And Garrett swings through the first pitch for strike 1. Cantorino on the season. 51 and a third innings pitch, has surrendered 31 base hits, 12 runs, 9 earned, 11 walks, 92 strikeouts, no home runs. Opponents hitting under $179. And this is a line shot off the bat of Garrett, too short. And Billington, Johnny on the spot, makes a catch. There are now 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. And that'll bring up Cole Roberts, the first baseman. Long look in from Canarino. Now he's set. Right-hander fires. Tries to paint the corner on the outside edge. Doesn't get the call. 1-0 the count here to Cole Roberts, 6 foot, 180-pound senior. 1 for 6 in the series. Singled in game 2. Reached into fielder's choice and scored in the 6th inning. He scored the winning run. Well, I actually should say Brandon Gonzalez, his pinch runner, scored the winning run. He's ahead of Canarino here. The third baseman, Roberts. 2-0. This half inning of Carroll Dragon Baseball brought to you by Meet You Anywhere Barbecue. Go to Meet You Anywhere Barbecue in Grapevine for the best barbecue in North Texas. Online at meetyouanywhere.com. That's MEAT, the letter U, anywhere.com. 2-0 pitch, low and outside. 3-0 the counts. Again, only 52 pitches thrown in 4 innings the other night by Canarino. 35 of those 52 for strikes. No hits, no walks. 1 runner reached on an error, 5 strikeouts. Almost half of the outs earned via the K, and it's a 4-pitch walk here to Roberts. Two on, 2 out here in the top of the first for Midlothian. And Hunter Pajalski, the designated hitter, will step in from the left side. Same lineup as Midlothian has had just about every ball game this year. Humphreys led it off. He struck out swinging. Kyler Castillo with a single. He's now on second. J.B. Garrett with a line shot to Billington at short. And then a 4-pitch walk to the third baseman, Roberts. Designated hitter, Pajalski swings through the first pitch. That's strike 1. He's in the 5-hole, batting 6, Blake Wilson, the left fielder. Senior center fielder, Jonathan Rakoff, batting 7th. Batting 8th, Chris Martinez, senior first baseman. And junior right fielder, Jordan Johnson, batting 9th. 0-1 swung through. Maybe got a piece of it to stay alive. So it's Humphreys, Castillo, Garrett, top third of the order. Middle third, Roberts, Pajalski, and Wilson. Bottom third, Rakoff, Martinez, and Johnson facing off against Cantarino. And an 0-2 to the designated hitter, Pajalski. Instead, Cantarino steps off and looks back to second. One for 4 in this series is Pajalski with a walk and a hit by pitch. He's got an 0-2 count here with 2 outs in the top of the first. Swings and drives this one over the head of the shortstop. Throw is not going to come in time. And it's going to be a double, an RBI double for Pajalski, and Midlothian takes a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first. Castillo scores from second. Roberts advances to third on the play, so runners now at second and third as Blake Wilson digs in against Cantarino. Roscadena in left field, Eric Cole in center, and those two converged on that ball. Ryan Bellamy over in right. Usual defensive alignment for the Carroll Dragons as the first pitch is in there for a strike. Cantarino to Wilson. Brendan Gonzalez at third. Stephen Billington, the shortstop, at second. Drew Davis. And Casey Combs at first. Wilson swings through that one, and quickly it's an 0-2 count. The battery, just as it was game 1, Nick Motley behind the plate, Matthew Cantarino on the mound. So we're giving up a pair of hits, a walk, and a run. time called at the plate. This inning also brought to you by Jeff Irwin State Farm Insurance Agency. For all your insurance needs, call Jeff at 817-251-8900 or visit jeffirwin.com. 0-2 fought off. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Runners at second and third. Also by the Heineman family, who reminds you that there are 2 seasons, winter and baseball. Great quote from Roger Hornsby. The conversation now as Blake Wilson trots down to speak with the head coach of the Midlothian Panthers, Ray Hides. His 18th year at Midlothian. They've made the playoffs 15 of the last 18 years. A DBU graduate. Big pitch here for Canarino. Didn't want any more to come across. Here's the 0-2. Jammed him. Popped up, fading to left field. Cadena is under it, makes a catch. And that will do it for the top of the first. Midlothian scores first. They get a run off of a pair of base hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left on and in scoring position. Half inning in the books. Midlothian 1. Carroll coming to bat for the first time right after these messages on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
And welcome back here to Quick Trip Park. Thomas Lee here with you as the Dragons head to the bottom of the first inning, trailing 1-0. They will step to the plate for the first time. Midlothian with a run on 2 hits in the top half of the frame. And now, much as Canarino is taking over for the second start in the series, Jimmy Faust is out. And the first pitch is on the outside corner, strike 1. Drew Davis, the second baseman, the senior, leading things off. It'll be Davis, Combs, and Cole to up here in the first. And Faust attacking the outside corner. Now ahead in the count. 0-2. Faust, 3 innings of work on Thursday night. That one misses outside. 1-2 the count. 48 pitches thrown, 32 for strikes in those 3 innings. Surrendered 5 base hits. Struck out 3, allowed 2 runs, both earned. That was before the rain halted the game. Give you Larry Hughes' lineup after the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball too short. Coming in on it is Garrett. The throw over about a step ahead of Davis. 6-3 ground out. And that'll be the first out here in the first. This half inning brought to you by Alcorp Marketing. Thank you to Ben Allen and the Allen family. To find out more, visit alcorpmarketing.com. That's ALCORP marketing.com. Leading it off is Drew Davis, and so after his ground out to short, up steps the first baseman, Casey Combs. Center fielder Eric Cole on deck. That's the top third of the order. 1-0 pitch from Faust. That one, high ball two. Middle third of the order, the catcher, Nick Motley, is batting fourth. Batting fifth, Zach Farrar, the designated hitter. And left fielder, Ross Cadena, batting sixth. Bottom third of the order, Ryan Bellamy, the right fielder, batting seventh. Batting eighth, Brendan Gonzalez, the third baseman. And the shortstop, Stephen Billington, batting ninth. 2-0 pitch. Good frame job in the outside corner by the catcher, Humphreys. The count is now 2-1. So it's Davis, Combs, Cole top of the third. Middle third, Motley, Farrar, Cadena. Bottom third, Bellamy, Gonzalez, and Billington. Low and away. Great hitters count here for Casey Combs. One for 6 in the series with a double, a run scored, also walked. Great count, 3-1. Swings and drives it back up through the box, past the diving Garrett. And Combs is aboard with a one-out single here in the bottom of the first. Very reminiscent of the single with one out that the second baseman Castillo got for the Panthers in the top half of the frame. See if the Dragons can take advantage. So here comes Eric Cole, the senior center fielder, headed to Arkansas. From the left side against the right-hander, Faust. Takes it low and inside. Was 1 for 3 against Faust on Thursday night. 2 for 5 in the series with a pair of singles and a walk. One 1-0 pitch back to the mound. Off the glove. It gets away from the shortstop, Garrett. No play can be made. Hard hit ball by Cole. Gets him on base. 2 on, 1 out here. Home half of the first as the Carroll Dragons are trying to answer the Midlothian run in the top half of the frame. So here's Nick Motley. 444 average coming in, 6 home runs, 35 driven in. Great chance right here for the Dragons. Side of the game, maybe even jump out on top. Motley with a big swing, got underneath it though, popped it up to second. Castillo charging into the infield grass, makes the catch. Second out here in the first. Took a 2-out hit by Midlothian to plate their run, and the Dragons will need the same here. Runners at first and second, Combs on second, Cole's on first. And the red-hot Zach Farrar had an RBI knock against Faust. Thursday night takes the count 0-1 now, as Farrar digs in from the left side against the right-hander. 483 average in the regular season. Boy, got the call in the outside corner. Not sure that one was a strike, but our home plate umpire, a better vantage point than I have, he says it's strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 Dragons on for Farrar. Here's the 0-2. Outside. Defensively for the Panthers, Blake Wilson is in left field. Jonathan Rakoff is in center. Jordan Johnson in right. All playing fairly straight away. Wilson is kind of backed up and a little towards the line there in left field. Cole Roberts behind the bag at third. J.P. Garrett, you see entering your frame there at shortstop, top left. Trying to keep the runner close. This pitch is swung on, and it's going to drop into left center field. The go sign is on. What a big-time hit by Zach Farrar as he ties the game at 1 with an RBI single plating Casey Combs. Slightest of breeze heading out to left field. That one just kind of off the end of the bat and tailing up and over the head of the shortstop, Garrett. Dropped in between Garrett and the left fielder, Wilson. And Farrar does the damage, tying the game at 1. Here comes the left fielder, Cadena. Same situation as Farrar. 2 on, 2 out. Takes first pitch high, ball 1. Two for 5 in the series is Cadena. A pair of singles. He scored a run. Hard hit ball up the middle, past the 2 diving infielders. And they collide. The ball is bobbled a moment, and the run will score. It's a 2-out RBI hit for the sophomore Cadena as the Carroll Dragons take a 2-1 lead. And it looks like Castillo at second and Garrett at short are both okay. All-out diving effort. The ball was hit right back up the middle by Cadena. On the play, Farrar advances to third. Dragons lead it 2-1. Farrar on third base. Cadena's on first, and here's the first pitch to the right fielder, Bellamy. That's strike 1. 281 average coming in. It's driven in 9. 1 for 7 in the series. Count now, a ball and a strike. Soft throw over to first, and diving back is Cadena. Boy, what a start to this game. Back-to-back, 2-out, run-producing hits off the bats of Farrar, who's now on third, and Cadena, who's on first. Scoring Combs and Cole. Didn't get that call. 2-1 now as the pitch was low and outside. Neither pitcher looking quite as sharp as they did Thursday. But the Dragons getting the best of it so far. And a great hitter's count is awaiting Bellamy here at 3-1. That one bounces in and it loads the bases. What a patient walk by Bellamy. Cadena to second. Farrar's on third. The bases are loaded. And up steps Bigo to try to really blow this game open. Any sort of hit here. With the speed of Bellamy on first, if any sort of gapper is going to clear the bases with 2 outs. And here comes the head coach of the Panthers, Ray Hides, to have a talk with his entire infield. Both coaches felt pretty good about the starters from Thursday coming back in this one. They both threw about 50 pitches, as I mentioned earlier. Faust, again, the 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, did strike out 3. Today, though, he's already given up 4 base hits and a walk. And 2 runs, both earned. Got a ground out to short and a pop up to second. Only 2 outs in the 6 batters. Check that, 7 batters he's faced thus far. Now the 8-hole hitting third baseman, Brendan Gonzalez, digs in. Or a couple walks, 0 for 3 in the series. Walk would be good here. See what Faust has. On the outside corner, strike 1. Senior takes that one outside, and that's a great play by Humphreys. That ball gets away, and Farrar's coming in from third. He's got good speed down there. Let's go with those neon green gloves he's wearing. Just an athletic kid. Multi-sport stars. Gonzalez swings through that one. The count is now ball and 2 strikes. can see how wide. You can't even see the second baseman Castillo in the picture. Shortstop's almost out of it as well. He goes back up the middle, much like Cadena did. Excuse me, Ferrara went back up the middle. Cadena with a little flare shot. I had it right the first time. There's a gap there. 2-2. Gets the call. Strikeout looking. First K for Faust. That'll close the book in the first for the Dragons, but they do jump out on the lead. 2 runs on the benefit of 4 base hits. There were no errors, but the Dragons leave them loaded. A lot of offense here in the first inning. We head to the second. Dragons 2, Panthers 1. Playoff baseball continues in a moment on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
7th inning of Carroll Dragon Baseball is brought to you in part by Speedy B Car Wash on Davis, where they believe they have to earn your business on each and every visit. Visit them online at speedybwash.com. We head to the second. Dragons up 2-1 here of this Game 3 in the best of 3 by-district round series. First pitch is swung on. Fouled off by Jonathan Rakopf, the center fielder. A nice catch made by a fan in the stands. Oh, 0-1 the count here. Curveball stays high. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rakopf. Chris Martinez, the first baseman, and Jordan Johnson, the right fielder. 7-8-9 up here in the second against Canarino. Swung on, fought off, fouled off again. First base side, ball and 2 strikes. Canarino threw 19 pitches in the first. Faust with 29. I don't think either head coach is particularly excited about that. And with the weird postponement of Game 1, and there's a nice strikeout there. Second K for Canarino. And Jonathan Rakopf, he goes down on strikes for the first out here in the second. But to my point, both these pitching staffs are a little thin right now. Talking to Coach Hides, I said, Coach, I see that Faust is getting the start for you. Who else are we going to see today? We'll see Johnny. It's like, who's Johnny? Johnny Allstaff. You got a good chuckle out of that one, so all hands on deck here in Game 3. Canarino will go as long as he can, and the Dragons will still have an ace up their sleeve in the form of the sophomore slinger Cole Ramage. First things first, Canarino needs to go as far as he can into this ball game. He's got a 1-1 count with 1 out here in the second now. On the first baseman, Chris Martinez, the 5'11", 190-pound senior. Goes after the outside corner, nails his spot. That's Canarino in a nutshell. Pinpoint precision personified. There's the 1-2. Fouled off. Staying alive at the plate is Martinez. One for 6 coming into this at bat in the series. Underneath this one, high into the air, fading way out of territory, left field side. We've had some real battles in this series, none more than Kyler Castillo's strikeout in the first of Game 2 against Kramer. It's a 13-pitch at bat. Nice block by Motley there. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count here to Martinez. Boy, Motley did his best to frame that one. The glove hardly moved. The count now goes full to the 5'11", 109-pound senior first baseman, Chris Martinez. A little tardy on that one, fouls it back to the screen. Kramer with an amazingly gutty performance, throwing over 100 pitches last night. The 2 games combined. And Canarino pulls the string and gets Martinez swinging. His 3rd strikeout now in an inning and 2/3. All 3 of the swinging variety, and there are 2 quick outs here in the second. So that'll bring up the right fielder, Jordan Johnson. Six 185-pound junior swings through the first pitch for strike 1. This half inning also brought to you by Around the Plate Sports, where personalized coaching changes practice to passion and transforms players to champions. Check out AroundThePlateSports.com for more information. Canarino did not get the call there on the outside portion of the plate. Ball and a strike to count with 2 outs here in the second. Dragons leading it 2-1. Panthers batting top of the second inning. Nice. Canarino dealing here today. He's got Johnson set up 1-2. Fastball. Outside corner, got him looking. Again. Throwing it on a dime, and Canarino strikes out the side in the second. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left. Inning and a half of the books. Dragons lead it 2-1. Playoff baseball. Win or go home. Game 3 continues in a moment. CSR TV.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
If you're a basketball parent or coach, you need StatGeek, the simplest way to keep stats ever created. Our easy-to-use iPad app turns anyone into a professional statistician, and all they have to do is simply follow the ball. Produce full and accurate box scores and play-by-play reports. Send accurate stats out to your fans, media, or recruiters. It's sports statistic collection redefined. StatGeek is available right now in the iPad App Store for just $4.99, and there are team fundraising opportunities available as well. On the web at statgeek.com. StatGeek, keep your eye on the ball.
We go to the bottom of the second inning. Dragons lead it 2-1 over Midlothian. Thomas Lee here with you. Alex Sterling, our cameraman, is on his way from his day job right now. This game got pushed way up in the schedule. And so As soon as he gets off work and can get here, he'll join me. Until then, enjoy the static shot of the middle of the infield. 1-0 pitch, misses outside. Now 2 balls and no strikes to count. The 9-1-2 due up here. Senior Billington leading things off. And we'll see Davis and Combs. And now a 3-0 count. Boy, leadoff base runner would be just what the doctor ordered here for the Dragons. Automatic. In there, strike 1. 33 pitches now thrown by Faust. 16 of them for strikes. Through 1+ inning. That one bounces in. Leadoff walk for Billington. So the senior shortstop is on board. The lineup will reset. Here comes Drew Davis, the second baseman. Puts down a bunt, first base side. Diving catch made by Faust. What an effort. I'm sorry we couldn't show you that one. Unbelievable all-out effort, stretching out. And it would have been just inside the chalk line if it had landed. Well, what a tough break there for Davis, who pops up back to the pitcher on a bunt attempt. An amazing dynamite play by Faust. Put a gold star by that one. 1 gone here in the bottom of the second inning. Now Combs steps up, single and scored last inning. Billington on first. That pitch is low and outside, ball 1. This half inning brought to you by one of my favorites, Nothing Bundt Cakes. So yummy you'll wish it didn't have a hole in it. Stop by their location, conveniently located in South Lake Town Square. Give them a call, 817-416-6228. That one's downstairs as well, 2-0 the count. Patience. This far looks like it's going to be rewarded for the Dragon hitters. First time Billington's been aboard in the series. As Combs fouls that pitch off. He's got 3 stolen bases in his many attempts. Came in batting .211. 4 driven in. And that one catches for a strike. Count now 2-2 to the first baseman, Combs. Dragons lead it 2-1 as they bat here in the bottom of the second. This is game 3. Winner advances. The loser's season is done. Will advance to play the Hebron Hawks. Good swing at this one, and Combs singles into left field. Boy, Casey, 2 for 2 today. Billington advances to second, and with 1 gone, the dangerous center fielder Cole steps to the plate. Cole, 4.05 average coming in. And takes the first pitch for a ball, as I figured he might. One-0 to Cole. Takes that one low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Eric 2 for 5 with a walk coming in. Now 3 for 6, a run scored and a walk, and hides out to talk to his infield. And Faust is done. Boy, that was a quick decision there. Jimmy Faust heads back to the dugout, talking into his glove, probably not real happy with it. His teammates coming over to pick him up. He'll give some dap to the new Panther pitcher. And next man up for Midlothian is the one who came on in relief and was so electric in Game 2. Well, actually, I guess it was Game 1 he was electric. Game 2, he was not bad either. It's Garrett Hofstad. Hofstad now on for the Panthers. Hofstad has pitched in all 3 games now of this series. 3 perfect innings once we resume play in Game 1. Had 4 strikeouts in those 3 innings. Didn't throw a lot of pitches. Just 36 pitches thrown, 25 of them for strikes in that 3 perfect innings in the 2-0 Carroll win in Game 1. Game 2, on the other hand, he threw 31 pitches in just an inning and a third. 17 for strikes, allowed 3 hits, struck out 1, walked 2, allowed 1 run. It was earned. So Hofstad, the 6'3", 180-pound senior, now on for Midlothian. Count remains 2-0 to Cole at the plate. Hofstad got Cole to strike out in Game 1. Cole hits this one back up through the box, though. Go sign is on. The throw to the plate is not going to be in time. It's an RBI single for Eric Cole. Billington scores from second. Dragons on top 3-1. And that is what your stud, your standout player is supposed to do, Cole, with a huge RBI knock there. Now 4 for 7 in the series with a run scored and an RBI. And still 2 on and 1 out here in the second for the Dragons. As the unbelievable catcher Motley steps in. No pitch time was called at the plate before Hofstad released that one. So just an inning and a third for Faust. All 3 runs charged to him. Motley fouls that one off back to the screen. 0-1 the count. One for 3, 3 walks. And he smokes this one to left. It turns the left fielder around, but Wilson is able to make the catch. Boy, that is a great job by the left fielder. He headed to his left and then spun back around 180 degrees to go originally to his right towards the line. And is able to just get it in the glove. Good hit by Motley, though. Going to fly out to left, the second out here in the second. Dragons already with 1 run across. They lead at 3-1 in the ballgame. 4 hits in the first, 2 more here in the second. And Farrar swings and drives this one into the bullpen, caught by one of the relief pitchers. There is double-barreled action in the Midlothian bullpen right now. Grant Adams, a senior, is getting loose, as is Colton Moore. And Moore is the one who got the win in game number 2 last night, pitching 2 2/3 of perfect ball, retiring all 8 batters that he faced. Farrar down to the count, 0-2. And he strikes out. First strikeout for Hofstad. That'll do it for the Dragons second, but not before they score another run on the benefit of 2 base hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left on. The Dragons brought their bat to the ballpark today. They lead it 3-1 as we head to the third after these messages on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV. This is coverage of Game 3 of the Bi-District Series between Midlothian and Carroll. Get tied at 1 game apiece. Back to Grand Prairie after these messages.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShopboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShockboxDFW.com today. ShockboxDFW.com.
We head to the third inning. Carroll up 3-1 on Midlothian. We'll get some scores here in just a second. From around the area. First things first, Canarino's first pitch popped up. Boy, really got underneath this one. High into the air to left. There's so much time that left fielder Kadena came almost all the way in on the infield, I guess color changed area as the catcher is retired by a fly ball to left. 37 pitches now for Canarino, 27 for strikes. Top of the order due up for Midlothian here in the third. The first pitch downstairs, ball 1. So Humphreys, the leadoff hitter, has been held in check for the most part. 1 for 7 in the series. Does have a walk, a run scored, stolen base. Did reach on an error. He struck out 4 times. So Humphreys retired. Now a 2-1 count here to Castillo, who did the damage leading it off. 1-out single in the top of the first, was driven in on a 2-out RBI double by the designated hitter, Pajowski. Castillo swings through that pitch, and the count is 2-2. This half inning brought to you by Meet You Anywhere Barbecue. Go to Meet You Anywhere Barbecue in Grapevine for the best barbecue in North Texas. Online, meetyouanywhere.com. Canarino does not get the call there. The count is now 3-2. That's MEAT, the letter U, anywhere.com. Well, that sounds good after the game. Maybe some barbecue. Proud sponsor of Kill Dragon Baseball on Champion Sports Radio. Swung on to right field. Ranging over, though, is Bellamy. He's there to make the catch. Fly ball to left for Humphreys. Fly ball to right for Castillo. 2 quick outs here in the third for Cantarino. So now the shortstop, J.B. Garrett, will step in from the left side against the right-hander Cantarino. Fastball inside corner, strike 1. Lined out to his counterpart at short in Billington back in the first. Now up with 2 outs and nobody on. Pops this one in the air. Shortstop Billington calls everybody off, and he'll make the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning, the second consecutive for Canarino. He's retired 7 in a row. In the third, no runs, hits, errors, nobody left. It's a 3-1 lead for Carroll as we head to the bottom of the third over Midlothian. Playoff baseball continues in a moment on Champion Sports Radio.
Are you looking for a way to promote your business or increase exposure? Do you just need more people to know that you're there? Join the Champion Sports Radio team and advertise during these games. In the last 4 years, Champion Sports Radio has broadcast over 600 games to more than 3.5 million listeners. And Champion Sports Radio wants to help you use major high school sports to reach thousands of local fans right in your community. Think about it. Die-hard fans just like you tune in each and every week, giving your business unparalleled access to the community. It's the perfect way for smaller individually owned businesses to cultivate a core clientele or expand their already loyal customer base. To secure your prime commercial spot during the broadcast, contact Thomas Lee at Champion Sports Radio by phone at 972-741-0334. That's 972-741-0334 or online at championsportsradio.com. Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcast.
Dragons 3, Panthers 1. We head to the bottom of the third. Carroll, the home team here in Game 3 of this best-of-3 series. 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Now up to bat here in the third. And for the Dragons, be 6, 7, and 8, Kadena, Bellamy, Gonzalez. Sophomore Ross Kadena with a 2-out RBI single in the first. Gave the Dragons a 2-0 lead. Billington scored on an RBI knock by Cole last inning, so it's now 3-1 Dragons. Hopstead beginning his first full inning of work, and Kadena swings and pops this one up over into the bullpen area. It'll be a ball and a strike to Kadena. Garrett Hopstad gave up a single to Cole and then fly ball to left up the bat of Motley, struck out Farrar. And now is a 1-2 count on Kadena. That one bounces in, good eye. Count even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Coming to you live from Quick Trip Park here in Grand Prairie, the site for this entire series and a lot of other high school baseball this weekend. And a good swing by Kadena to the alley in left center field. It's a big gap there, and Kadena hustling around first. He's going to slide in. He's got a double. Leadoff double here in the third for Kadena. For the second consecutive inning, the Dragons get the leadoff man aboard. Second hit off of Hofstad. And Kadena setting the table here. So right fielder Bellamy digs in. He walked on 5 pitches back in the first against the starter Faust. First pitch low and away, ball 1. Bellamy 281 average coming in to the series. That one's high and tight. Looks around a bit like that was a little closer than I expected. Bellamy 1 for 7 with a walk against Midlow. Two and 1 the count here to Bellamy. Kadena's on second. Hopstad allowed a run. Wasn't charged to him, but the hit was off of him as Cole drove in Billington last inning. So 4 batters faced, 2 hits, 2 outs. And now Bellamy with a hitter's count, 2-1. Solid hit. One hopper goes right through the wickets of Garrett at short. The go sign is on for Cadena. RBI single for Bellamy. The Dragons roaring here. They lead it now 4-1. Actually, the official score is going to charge that one with an error. Probably a play he should have made. Do the same. First run charged to Hofstad. It's unearned for the moment, but there's nobody out. A runner on first in Bellamy, and Bigo at the plate. Struck out looking back in the first against Faust. This is his first appearance today against Hofstad. The Dragons have scored thus far in every inning. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 now here in the third. Shows bunt. Third baseman crashes in, pulls the bat back, and bangs it through the left side. Boy, the Dragon bats looking great here today. That is the 8th Dragon hit of the afternoon, and here comes Coach Hides once again. And that'll be enough for Hofstad. There comes Colton Moore. Well, we've seen 4 pitchers in this series. Faust, Hofstad, Smith, and Moore. And for the second consecutive game, 3 different guys are throwing for Midlothian. But again, 8 pitching spots used in now 3 games and by just 4 guys. Faust with 2 starts. Hofstad has come on relief in all 3. Smith started game 2 through 64 pitches. He's probably unavailable. Maybe he's got 1 batter in him at some point if needed. And Colton Moore now appearing for the second consecutive game. These guys all have really good stuff, but it's tough to come back on such short rest. And the Dragons are making him pay. I should point out that Cantorino is coming back on short rest, and what Kramer did yesterday, pitching the last part of game 1 and the first part of game 2 was gutty as well. Dragon pitchers just a skosh better than Midlothian, and that's why Carroll leads it 4-1 here in game 3. As they were 6 outs away from a 2-game sweep last night until 3 errors led to the runs crossing for Midlo. So the senior Moore going to play at Tabor College. Now on. 2 2/3, a perfect ball thrown last night. 30 pitches, 24 for strikes. The game 2 winner, Colton Moore, 6'1", 225-pounder. The senior now on the mound for Midlothian. And here's Billington, who walked against Faust to lead off the second, came around to score the third of the 4 runs thus far for the Dragons here in game 3. First pitch above the letters for ball 1. Nobody out here, so just 2/3 of an inning for Hofstad as the bunt goes foul on the third base side for strike 1. Third base coach Austin Cranford. Larry Vukin over at first. And Cranford's really been doing a good job of when to send guys and when not to here in this series. Shows bunt, pulls it back, pitch catches the outside corner anyway. 1-2 from the third Midlothian pitcher of the day, Moore. To Billington here with nobody out in the bottom of the third. 2 on. Bellamy reached on an error, is on second base. Gonzalez is on first. Yeah, that's a strikeout. Got him looking. First K for Moore, and the first batter that he's faced. Lineup will now reset, and Davis will step to the plate. This inning brought to you in part by Heritage Homes, building fine custom homes in Southlake and the surrounding communities. Heritage Homes. Hard hit ball through the left side of the infield. Go sign is on for Bellamy. The throw is going to come to the plate. It's not in time. Heading to third, sliding in, and the runner is out. Gonzalez trying to take that extra base thrown out, but it is an RBI single for Davis on the first pitch that he sees. And the Dragons now lead it 5-1. So 2 gone here now in the third, and Dragons played 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Now 2 more here in the third. They lead at 5-1. Davis on first. Casey Combs at the plate. And that is the first hit that the Dragons have had against Moore in this series. Combs has been hot today, 2 for 2. Singled and scored in the first, singled. Kept the party going in the second. Swings through that one, and the count is 1-1. Throw over to first, and diving back in time is Davis. Three RBIs now in the series for Davis. He had 2 last night, driving in both Carroll runs in the fourth. Combs down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Moore gets the sign. Good eye by Combs to lay off. 2-2 the count. So we're going to check some scores. We'll do that here in just a moment. Get you caught up on other action around the Metroplex here. Region 1. Dragons now on the side of the Region 1 bracket where they keep winning. They don't have to leave the Metroplex at least for a couple of rounds. No more of those West Texas trips. Swings through that one. That's a strikeout. First time Combs is retired today. Second strikeout for Moore. But the damage is done. 2 more runs plated here in the third for Carroll. They do it on the benefit of 3 base hits and an error. And 1 runner left on. 3 full in the books. 5-1 your score. Dragons lead here in this winner go home game 3 with Midlothian. Back after these messages.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schraw, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
Head to the top of the fourth inning. Carroll with a 5-1 lead here on Midlothian. Cantorino back out to begin his fourth full inning of work. First pitch is ball one to the third baseman, Cole Roberts. Roberts on a 4-pitch walk back in the first. So Cantorino comes after him here. He does. Ground ball to third. Bigo's got it. Good throw over to first. It comes. 5-3 ground out. First out here in the fourth. .47 pitches now thrown by Cantorino today. 33 of them for strikes. There's a 34th one there as Bujowski swings through. And an 0-2 pitch, he had an RBI double back in the first. It's the only run that Midlothian has had here in Game 3. Swing through that one as well. Nothing into the count. Seventh inning brought to you in part by Priority Signs and Graphics, custom building signs, pole signs, LED message centers, and large format graphics, where your sign is our top priority. On the web at PrioritySignsAndGraphics.com. 0-2 pitch. Hit back up the middle. Nice knockdown. And the throw's not going to be in time. Boy, all-out effort there by Billington just to knock that one down and try to get something on it. And that'll be a base hit. Second hit for Bujowski. Third Midlothian hit of the ball game, and a one-out single here in the fourth. So Blake Wilson, the left fielder, will now step in. Line foul down the third base line, strike one. Oh, 1 from Cantorino to Wilson. Nope, throw over to first. Winner of this series again will take on the Hebron Hawks. Hebron won game 1 4-0 over Byron Nelson. 9-5 in game 2, a 2-game sweep for the Hawks over Byron Nelson. Hebron the third place finisher out of 6-6A. And Wilson drops down to a knee trying to hold back on that great curve ball from Cantorino. $5'8", 160-pound senior. Lines this one to left. It's going to get down for a base hit. Back-to-back base hits on 0-2 counts here against Cantorino in the fourth. And Rakoff will step in. With one gone, 2 runners on, and Coach Hughes is going to send out the pitching coach, Larry Vukin. The battery already having a meeting on the mound, and we'll see what he, Cantorino, and Motley can decide. First hit for Wilson in the series there. He was 0 for 6 before that. Did work a walk in the Game 1 victory for Carroll. Cantorino's going to stay out there. No action in the Dragon bullpen right now, although I expect at some point we'll see the hard-throwing sophomore, Cole Ramage. Dragon closer may be called to come on and close out this series. So here's Rakoff. One for 7 in the series. First pitch in there, strike one. Oh, one pitch. Beautiful frame job by Motley. As Canarino hits his spot on the outside edge, and it's 0-2. Panthers center fielder in a hole, but so have Pajalski and Wilson been. They both got hits in this inning on after 0-2 counts. This one down in the dirt. That's a swinging strikeout, and that's just what the doctor ordered. 5th K for Canarino. 2 gone here in the 4th. .56 pitches now thrown by Michael. 42 for strikes. The first baseman, Chris Martinez, a strikeout victim in the second, will step in. It's quite a battle, though. 9-pitch at bat for Martinez 2 innings ago. This time it comes with 2 on and 2 out. Breaks under the knees for ball 1. Only the second ball he's thrown in this inning. Started out Roberts with a ball 1, then 10 consecutive strikes thrown by Cantarino here in the 4th before that first pitch ball to Martinez. It's that one on the outside edge. Such a masterful command of the strike zone from Michael Cantarino. Is dealing today after the run given up on a 2-out RBI double in the first. He's been nails. So a pair of base hits here in the 4th. Breaking ball in there, strike 2. Struck him out. Back-to-back swinging strikeouts for Cantarino after he allowed back-to-back hits in the inning. In the 4th, no runs off of 2 base hits, no errors, both men left aboard. Halfway through the ball game, Carroll leads at 5-1 here in Game 3 of this best-of-3 series. We'll be back to Quick Trip Park after these messages on Champion Sports Radio.
Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
Dragons have a 5-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Carroll, the home team here. Midlothian, the road team, and a high hopper up the middle. And Garrett makes the play, retiring Cole on the throw to first. 6-3 ground out. First time Cole's been retired today. He was 2 for 2 coming in to this at-bat. Singleton scored in the first, RBI single in the second. Now a ground out to short here to lead off the fourth. Thomas Lee here with you. Camera operator Alex Sterling on his way. Had a work emergency he had to take care of before he could get here. But he will join us shortly. Dragons not waiting for him, though, as they've scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and lead at 5-1 as they bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 0-1 pitch past the diving Castillo in right. Motley with a single here with 1 out in the fourth. Nick Motley doing it again. He was 0 for 1 with a pair of walks last night in Game 2. Alex Johnston, his courtesy runner, back on to run for him here. Scored after the second walk on the RBI. Actually, the 2-run double by Davis in the fourth inning last night. Motley had a double and a walk in Game 1. Johnson scored for him there. So Johnson scored 2 runs in this series. The first pitch to Farrar is ball 1. So the Dragons can keep it going. They scored so far in every inning here tonight. And a throw over and Johnston back in time. It's a 1-out single here as Farrar fouls this one off. Looks like we may have another ball game after this one here tonight. This one down the right field line, just foul. Maybe a good thing. Farrar hit that one on the button. But was a little ahead on it, and Martinez is holding Johnston, running for Motley, on at first. The ball would have been right in his glove if it had been a fair ball. So new life for Farrar here. 1-2, 1 out here. Bottom of the fourth, 1 on. Runner takes off, ground ball through the right side. That will advance the runner on a ground out for 3. As Castillo throws over to Martinez. Johnson into scoring position at second. And here comes Cadena, who is 2 for 2 today with an RBI single in the first. A double to lead off the third, came around to score. The fourth of the 5 runs plated by Carroll here this afternoon. This half inning brought to you by Aruzzo Italian Street Food. Fresh, fast Italian food where family and friends go. Order online at myarrizzo.com. Arrizzo's. Nice block by Humphreys. Ball 1 to Cadena. As Colton Moore, who came on in relief last inning, gave up a 2-out RBI single to Davis, but struck out the other 2 batters he faced in that third. Hard hit ball past the diving third baseman Roberts. And Wilson comes up throwing. Solid single by Cadena. He's now 3 for 3 today. Johnston advances to third now. Runners at the corners for Carroll in the fourth. And Bellamy will get a chance to add to this 5-1 Dragon lead. Walked in the first, reached on an error, scored in the third. Chance for his first RBI in the series here with a base hit. Johnston on third, Cadena's on first. The first pitch down and away, ball 1. Blake Wilson in left field, Jonathan Rakoff in center, Jordan Johnson in right. Pretty standard defensive alignment here, although, as has been the case all week, in the left fielder back a little bit. Wilson a few steps behind where he might normally play. That one catches at the letters for a strike. Seventh inning of Dragon Baseball also brought to you by SportsMed Chiropractic. Former Dragon pitcher and UTA Maverick Dr. Ryan Robinson has a practice located in Main Street in Grapevine. Dragons helping Dragons get back in the game and keeping them there. SportsMedChiro.com. 1-1 count on Bellamy. Off speed, fell back to the screen. Cole Roberts, a couple steps behind the bag at third. J.B. Garrett at shortstop. You can see him retreating in the top left corner of your screen. Kyler Castillo off the screen at second. And at first base, that's Chris Martinez holding on Cadena. The battery again, Zach Humphreys behind the plate. And Colton Moore on the mound. Swings through that one. Swinging strikeout, third K of the ball game for Moore. And that'll do it for the Dragon fourth. First time today that Carroll did not score a run. They did get a pair of base hits. There were no errors, both runners stranded. 4 full in the books. Dragons 5. Panthers 1. Dragons will be back at the plate next inning, but first things first. Cantorino coming back out to continue this masterful performance here as we head to the fifth. 5-1 the lead for Carroll. Back after these messages to Quick Trip Park.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship social media.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Take me out to the ball game.
Head to the fifth inning. Cantorino and the Dragons up 5-1. Michaels back out to work his fifth full inning of work here. 8-9-1 Gonzalez. 9-1-2 Johnson, Humphreys, and Castillo due up against Cantorino. 1-0 pitch grounded down the line at third. Nice play by Combs. Took a funny hop there at the end. Sometimes does on these turf fields. 3 unassisted. Johnson is retired. And that's a quick out here in the fifth. This fifth inning brought to you by Alcorp Marketing. Thank you to Ben Allen and the Allen family. Ben Allen and the Allen family. To find out more, visit alcorpmarketing.com, ALCORP marketing.com. 62 pitches now for Cantorino, 46 for strikes. Make it 47. It's the first pitch. The leadoff hitting catcher, Zach Humphreys, is in there, strike one. Just the fifth pitch Humphreys has seen all strikes here in game number 3 from Cantorino. Tries to lay down the bunt, third base side. Cantorino fields it, the throw over is going to get away. Nice job backing up the play by Davis to keep the runner from advancing, but Humphreys drops down the little infield single. Fifth hit off of Cantorino. Bunt single with one out here for Humphreys in the fifth. So Kyler Castillo, 1 for 2 in the game. Singled and scored in the first. The lone run for Midlothian. That ball just had great spin on it. Spun away from the pitcher. He had further ground to cover maybe than he initially thought. It's the first pitch that Castillo's in there for a strike. Runner takes off. Motley's not going to be able to get him. Off-speed pitch. Canarino's tapping himself saying it's my fault. Stolen base for Humphreys. That's his second stolen base of the series. And this is, as I mentioned earlier in the series, the rare catcher that runs for himself. Great speed. Humphreys scored the first of the 3 runs last night in that dreaded 6th inning for the Dragons. Steele can't catch up to that one. Now ball and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the 5th. Runner in scoring position on second is Humphreys. Castillo 1 for 7 in the series. He's scored 2 runs. Now at the plate. Swings through that one. Motley's going to have to look the runner back, throw down, and complete the strikeout. Well done by Motley. Swinging strikeout, 2-3 on the putout. 7 Ks for Canarino. 2 gone here in the 5th. That'll bring up the shortstop, J.B. Garrett. Oh for 8 in the series, did reach on an error in game 2. But lined out. Billington is his enemy here, his opposite shortstop. Lined out and popped up to Billington in the 1st and 3rd innings, respectively. Ground ball down the line at first. Combs again, 3 unassisted. In the 5th, no runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left. Cantorino has been dynamite here in game number 3. Dragons lead at 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th on Champion Sports Radio.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
If you're a basketball parent or coach, you need StatGeek, the simplest way to keep stats ever created. Our easy-to-use iPad app turns anyone into a professional statistician, and all they have to do is simply follow the ball. Produce full and accurate box scores and play-by-play reports. Send accurate stats out to your fans, media, or recruiters. It's sports statistic collection redefined. StatGeek is available right now in the iPad App Store for just $4.99, and there are team fundraising opportunities available as well. On the web at statgeek.com. StatGeek, keep your eye on the ball.
Five to 1 is your score. Carroll on top of Midlothian. Dragons to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be 8-9 in 1. Gonzalez, Billington, and Davis due up. Colton Moore back out. Came on in the 3rd. He's given up 3 hits, but none of the runs charged to him. The first of the 3 hits scored the 5th run of the ball game for the Dragons. Alternated outs and hits in the 4th, and now first pitch to Gonzalez here in the 5th from Colton Moore. Just off the outside part of the plate for ball 1. Bigo 1 for 2 today. And ahead in the count now, 2 balls and no strikes. There's first strike of the at-bat, 2 balls and 1 strike now that counts at Gonzalez. He's already worked 2 walks in this series, now a ball away from his 3rd. One for 5 batting, but 2 walks to his credit. Make it 3 as he is on base to lead things off here in the 5th. 3rd time in 5 innings that the Dragons have gotten the leadoff man aboard. And that's going to bring out a visit to the mound from Coach Hides. There's still action going for Midlothian. I don't even know if this is a conversation. And it will be. The infield is together, and they'll talk about it. Gives us a chance to thank some of the proud sponsors of Carroll Dragon Baseball on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV, including Classic Silks and Accents, offering fine custom silk florals, window treatments, and accessories for residential and commercial interiors. Proudly serving their customers for 15 years. Call Diana at 817-821-4756. Looks like Colton Moore is done, and we'll finally see a new pitcher. Just the fifth pitcher for Midlothian in the series. This happening also brought to you by Paragon Design Group, designing incredible custom homes and remodels for over 23 years. Call Robert at 817-946-5933 and let him show you how they can serve your residential design needs. Paragon Design Group. New pitcher for Midlow. Going to be Grant Adams. Adams, the 5'9", 155-pound senior, now taking over for Colton Moore. Dragons lead at 5-1. Leadoff man aboard here in the fifth. We'll close the book on Moore. He pitched 2 innings, but still responsible for the man on first base. 3 hits surrendered in 2 innings, struck out 3, walked 1. That's the man, Gonzalez, now on first. And the Dragons will have a pinch hitter here, as Sam Avers will hit for Billington in the 9-hole here with nobody out in the 5th. The senior Avers now hitting for Carroll. From the left side against the right-hander Adams. First pitch. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and the pitch is outside, ball 1. Adams with a look to first. Checking on Gonzalez. Bunt laid down. Perfect job, third base side. Throw is offline and gets away. And Avers is safe at second. E5 keeps it going here for the Dragons in the 5th. Runners now at second and third. And the lineup will reset and Drew Davis will step in. Two on, nobody out for Davis here in the 5th. It's already a 5-1 lead for Carroll. Infield in. The first pitch misses just off the plate, ball 1 for Grant Adams. That one finds a home in the zone for a strike to the dismay of the Dragon faithful here in attendance at Quick Trip Park. Adam comes set. Checks the runners. Bounces it in. It's stopped by Humphreys. That saves a run from scoring. 2-1 the count here with nobody out to Davis. So Dragons threaten. They have threatened in every inning. Scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. Had runners at the corners with 2 outs in the 4th. Couldn't get anybody home. That one comes in tight to Davis, and it's now a 3-1 count. Drew's 1 for 2 today. Sacrifice bunt. He was kind of robbed of a hit back in the second. A great throw by the pitcher, Faust. Davis turns on this one, blooping towards left, and it's going to get in for a base hit. Coming in from third is Gonzalez. RBI knock for Davis. It's 6-1 Carroll. Avers advances from second to third. Now runners at the corners. Still nobody else. The Dragons sitting pretty, eyeing a matchup with the Hebron Hawks next weekend. Combs steps to the plate, 2 for 3 in the game. Singled and scored in the first, singled in the second, struck out swinging in the third. Now up for the 4th time here in the 5th inning. With nobody out, runners at the corners. Dragons have plated a run in 4 out of 5 innings in this ballgame. Avers on third, Davis on first. First pitch to Combs. Through the left side of the infield, base hit. RBI knock for Combs. It's 7-1 Carroll. Dragon fans on their feet, as Gonzalez and Avers have both scored here in the 5th on 2 hits, a walk, and an error. Here's Eric Cole. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner at the letter, strike 1. He's 2 for 3 today with an RBI and a run scored. 4 for 8 in the series. Good swing on this one, drives it to center, right at Rakoff. And that's the first out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So Motley steps to the plate. He's 1 for 3 today. 2 for 6 in the series. Has worked 3 walks. Singled last time up, though, in the 4th. That was against Moore. This at-bat against Grant Adams now on the mound. Adams, a senior for Midlothian. Motley smokes this one down the line to third. Steps on the bag, no chance at a throw. And the runner passes second, spins around, and they're going to say that he's out as well. Combs is nailed crossing second. Fielder's choice, 5 unassisted as Motley is retired, and then the double play. 5 unassisted to get Combs as well, and that'll do it for the 5th, but not before the Dragons score 2 more runs. On the benefit of 2 base hits and an error, they end up stranding 1 in the 5th. 5 full in the books. Dragons 7, Panthers 1. Back to Quick Trip Park after these messages on Champion Sports Radio.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute. Online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
We head to the top of the sixth inning. Dragons lead at 7-1 here on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV. Midlothian will send the middle third of the order, 4, 5, and 6. Roberts, Pachowski, and Wilson up. Canarino's still out there. Still pumping in strikes as the first pitch is in there, strike one. That's the 70th pitch he's thrown here today. 53rd for strikes. Bulldog out there for Larry Hughes. 0-1 breaks it as well. There's that great curveball. Fastball, mid to upper 80s. Good curve, great change as well. And the best thing about Cantorino, he locates all of them for strikes pretty much whenever he wants. That one bounces in. Nice block by Motley. Ball and 2 strikes to Cole Roberts. That one just off the plate, 2-2 the count. So Dragons lead 7-1 here, top of the sixth. The winner advances of this game, advances to take on the Hebron Hawks with a 2-game sweep over Byron Nelson. That one on the outside corner, Cantorino got him looking. 8 strikeouts now for Cantorino. And the first down here in the sixth. Seth inning of Carroll Dragon Baseball on Champion Sports Radio is brought to you in part by Meet You Anywhere Barbecue. Go to Meet You Anywhere Barbecue in Grapevine for the best barbecue in North Texas. Online at meetyouanywhere.com. That's MEAT, the letter U, anywhere.com. First pitch swung on foul back to the screen by Pajowski. He's the only one who's really had much success today. 2 of the 5 Midlothian hits courtesy of the designated hitter at the plate right now. Hunter Pajowski, 5'11", 195-pound junior. RBI double in the first, singled on an 0-2 pitch in the fourth, but was stranded at second. Curveball high and outside, 1-1 the count. Coppell dispatched Cedar Hill with a win Thursday 4-1. Won last night 7-0 on a complete staff one-hitter. Pajowski swings through that one and the count's 1-2. They will advance to playing the winner of Geyer and Marcus in a series going on right now on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV. Cantorino just a little high on that one, 2-2 the count. Geyer won game 1 last night, 4-2. Marcus put up 17 runs this afternoon in game number 2. Strikeout there, number 9 for Cantorino. So he gets Pajowski swinging. Little fist pump and authority there from Cantorino, and that may be the end of the road. Unbelievable effort by Cantorino. He gets a standing ovation from the fans. Every Dragon player out of the dugout. Michael, of course, the class act that he is, goes over and shakes the hand of Coach Hides first as he heads off. But my goodness, what an effort. 5 2/3 innings. 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, 5 hits surrendered, 1 run it was earned. And Cantorino now will give way to a new Dragon pitcher. And I know that everybody in Midlothian side of things happy to finally see Cantorino head to the dugout. Colt Ramage, the sophomore closer. Good high 80s fastball and that hard slider. He's going to come in and try to close it out. Needs 4 outs to punch Carroll's ticket. to the area round in a showdown with the Hebron Hawks. 7th inning really has gone by quickly for Cantorino. Just 10 pitches. Unofficially, 79 pitches thrown in the performance today. 58 of those 79 for strikes. And again, 5 2/3 innings, 5 hit ball, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 run. It was earned way back in the first. So now Ramage on to try and close things out for the Dragons. What a staff performance here this week by the Dragon Hurlers. So Marcus won Game 2 of the series against Geyer, 17-8 in a slugfest. Game 3 going on right now at Plano West. And the Marauders, at last report, leading Geyer by a score of 3-0 as they bat in the bottom of the second. In case you missed it earlier, Flower Mound, a Game 3 winner. Complete game performance from Thomas Lauer. He was dominant. The Jaguars won 6-1. Taking Game 3 of that best-of-3 series with Timber Creek. Wilson's up. First pitch foul back to the screen. Now the count of ball and a strike from the sophomore Ramage to the senior Wilson. The defending state champion Jaguars advance, and they will take on the Trinity Trojans. Trinity probably should have swept the series with SGP. They led 4-2 in the bottom of the 7th on Thursday night. Good swing by Wilson here, but to Davis. And a 4-3 ground out. Ramage just as effective as Cantorino. One batter face, one out. Midlothian down to just 3 outs left in their season. Dragons try to tack on some more insurance when we head to the bottom of the 6th. They lead at 7-1 over Midlothian. We'll be back to Quick Trip Park after these messages on Champion Sports Radio.
Do you need a boost in exposure? Want to reach local, community-minded folks with information about your business? Join the Champion Sports Radio team and advertise during these games. In the last 4 years, Champion Sports Radio has broadcast over 600 games for more than 3.5 million listeners. And Champion Sports Radio wants to help you use major high school sports to reach thousands of local fans right in your community. It's also a way for your business to give back to the community by helping all these well-deserving student-athletes get some recognition for their accomplishments. The cost simply can't be beat for the effect it will have. You get a lot of bang for your buck, and best of all, it provides an opportunity for the best advertisement of all, word of mouth. To secure your prime commercial spot during the broadcast, contact Thomas Lee at Champion Sports Radio by phone at 972-741-0334. That's 972-741-0334 or online at championsportsradio.com. Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcast.
Go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 7-1. Carroll on top of Midlothian. Boy, looking up scores in other games, I got confused with what I'm doing. Hey, Midlothian's the one trailing Carroll right now, 7-1 your score. Zach Farrar, 5, 6, and 7 due up. Farrar, Cadena, and Bellamy due up here in the 6th. First pitch, curveball outside, ball 1 from Grant Adams. Came on to pitch to Avers in the 5th. Allowed a run. It was unearned. A pair of hits off of him. And then got a couple outs. 1-1 count from Adams to Farrar here as the Dragons lead at 7-1. Pitch outside, 2-1 the count. Farrar working a great hitter's count now, 3-1. Comes inside and jams Farrar. This one up in the air, fading foul, and gets over into the Dragon bullpen. That'll be strike 2, and the count goes full. Finally found a score update on the Richland-Mansfield game. Mansfield won game 1 9-8. Richland took game 2 in 9 innings last night, 4-3. But Mansfield with a 2-0 win today. And Farrar works a walk to lead things off here in the 6th. So Keller and Mansfield squaring off. Trinity and Flower Mound doing battle as well. The winners of those two series will face each other in the 3rd round. Meanwhile, Coppell waiting the winner of Game 3 between Marcus and Geyer. At last report, Marauders with a 3-0 lead. The first pitch to Cadena is in there, strike 1. And Hebron awaiting what looks like right now to be the Carroll Dragons, 3 outs away from advancing. Off speed inside. 1-1 the count. Cadena's 3 for 3 today. Swing through that one. Now a ball and 2 strikes. This half inning of Carroll Dragon Baseball and Champion Sports Radio, sponsored by Nothing Bundt Cakes. So yummy you'll wish it didn't have a hole in it. Cadena lifts this one to shallow right center field. Charging in the 2 outfielders, and the right fielder, Johnson, will make the catch. First time today, Cadena retired. The sophomore is going to finish the day 3 for 4 with an RBI, a run scored, and a double and 2 singles. Nice day for the left fielder. That'll be the first out here in the 6th. Nothing Bundt Cakes. Stop by their location at the South Lake Town Square or give them a call, 817-416-6228. Inside corner, strike 1 from Adams to Bellamy. Bellamy 0 for 2, did reach on an error in the 3rd, came around to score the 2nd of the 2 Dragon runs that frame. Also walked in the 1st. Takes that one, evens the count at a ball and a strike. Looking ahead, most of those series next week we will have for you on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV, your home for the best high school baseball broadcast in the Metroplex. That one can't find the zone. 2-1 to count. Two and 2 the count. Big strikeout there for Adams. Midlothian has to believe they still have a chance, even though they trail by 6 runs. And they scored a total of 4 runs in nearly 3 complete games. Soren Krug now going to bat here for Gonzalez. Third baseman, the junior, from the right side. Takes that one. Is ahead in the count 2-0. 2 gone here. Bottom of the 6th. 7-1 is the score. Dragons on top of Midlothian. 1 run on 5 hits. 2 errors for Midlo. 7 runs on 13 Dragon hits here today. Adams deals this one by Krug. Popped up into shallow right field. The second baseman Castillo calls everybody off, and he'll make the catch. That'll do it for the Dragons in the 6th. Just the second inning. They did not throw up a number offensively in the ballgame. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. Last chance time for Midlo. We head to the 7th. Dragons 7, Panthers 1. Playoff baseball continues in a moment on Champion Sports Radio.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schraw, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
Dragons 3 outs away from advancing to the area round of the playoffs. Carroll 7, Midlothian 1 here in Game 3 of this best-of-3 series. And Ramage out to close things down. Face off against 7, 8, 9. Here's the first pitch from Ramage. Low and inside, ball 1. Pinch hitter here for Midlothian, Caleb Bly, the junior. He takes 2 pitches to get ahead 2-0. Bly, 6'1", 195-pound junior. Rakoff had struck out twice today against Cantorino. And that one bounces in. 3 balls, no strikes count. And that'll bring Larry Hughes had to have a conversation with the sophomore on the mound. Talking with Coach Hughes before the game, I was asking him, as the years have gone by, used to be at third base. Now he's given way to Austin Cranford to be able to take over those responsibilities. Larry Vukin normally handles the pitching coach role on this team as well, but there are also times where Coach Hughes and his experience and his wisdom, and he just needs to get a very certain message across. It's not always about X's and O's or much anything else. He says he works a lot on the mental game, and normally he doesn't have to do that much of that. This team really polices themselves, picks each other up, and helps them out. It's a 4-pitch walk here to Bly. Leadoff man aboard for the first time today. Just the second walk issued by Dragon pitching. We've got another pinch hitter here for Midlothian. We're just going to come after him. Bounces this one in. Jacob Crenshaw, 6'3", 190-pound senior at the plate from the left side against the right-hander Ramage. Six consecutive balls to start out the seventh. Time called. Motley will head out to the mound to have a conversation with him. Some action up in the Dragon bullpen. I don't think we gave you the numbers on Ramage. Let's go ahead and run through those here while Motley talks to the sophomore closer. 1-0 record on the year, a 2.25 earned run average. He does have a save in 2 opportunities. This is his 10th appearance, his 8th in relief. Enters having thrown 18 2/3, surrendering 12 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, 9 walks. He has 26 strikeouts. And there's a strike. Motley with the words of wisdom to calm him down. Opponent's hitting just 190 against the sophomore right-hander. With a 6-run cushion. I'm sure Motley and Hughes both had the same message. Just get some pitches over the plate, get some strikes. Back-to-back strikes called here against Crenshaw, and the count is 2-2. This half inning brought to you in part by Heritage Homes, building fine custom homes in South Lake and surrounding communities. Heritage Homes, proud sponsor of Carroll Dragon Baseball. Did not get the calls. It dipped under the knees. Count runs full. 3-2. Crenshaw. Payoff pitch from Ramage, and he strikes him out. Huge pitch from the sophomore. First out here in the 7th. And the first strikeout for Cole. This inning also brought to you in part by Priority Signs and Graphics, custom building signs, pole signs, LED message centers, and large format graphics. Where your sign is our top priority. On the web at PrioritySignsAndGraphics.com. First pitch. Blows it by the pinch hitter. For Midlothian at the plate right now, it's Austin Frazier, the senior. The 0-1. One hopper past the outstretched arms of Davis. It's a single to the right side of the infield. Good piece of swinging by Frazier. 2 on, 1 out here in the top of the 7th. 7-1, Carroll with the lead, but Midlothian not ready to wave the white flag just yet. Ramage's first pitch to the leadoff hitting Humphreys. Strike 1. Defensive alignment the same as it's been. Ross Cadena in left, Eric Cole in center. Ryan Bellamy over in right. So a nice block by Motley at the plate to keep the runners from advancing the station. Ball and a strike with 1 out, the count 2 on here in the 7th. 7-1, Carroll with the lead. Soren Krug is at third, a couple steps behind the bag. Stephen Billington, the shortstop. Drew Davis at second, and Casey Combs behind the runner at first. Does not get the call there. Great frame job by Motley. Just didn't get the home plate umpire biting. Sometimes that's what happens. You start off an inning with 6 consecutive balls. Even though you settle back in and are throwing strikes now, you're just not going to get the benefit of the doubt on the close plays. Two-one fastball into the knees. Great hitters count for Humphreys here, 3-1. Dragons just need 2 outs to advance to play Hebron next week in the area round of the playoffs. Ground ball through the left side, base hit. The stop sign is on. Athena got it back in quickly, but bases are now loaded. They're back-to-back base hits off of Cole Ramage. Got a ground out of Wilson back in the sixth, then Bly with a walk. Crenshaw struck out swinging. Frazier singled, now Humphrey singled, and here's Kyler Castillo. 1 for 8 in the series. Now the Carroll fans starting to get on the home plate umpire a bit. That's in there for a strike. Bly's on third, Frazier's on second, Humphrey's on first. The battery continues to be Nick Motley behind the plate and Cole Ramage on the mound. Ramage nails the outside corner with a slider. Castillo set up 1-2. Swings through it, and a huge strikeout for Ramage. That's number 2 here in the 7th. Midlothian down to their final out as they trail by 6. As the junior shortstop Garrett steps in, they do have the bases loaded. Dragon fans to their feet, imploring Ramage to get one more out. Fastball, strike 1. Swing and a miss. Midlow down to their final strike. Swing and a miss. He got him on 3 pitches to end the ball game, and the Dragons upset the champions out of 8-6A, the Midlothian Panthers, by taking Game 3 7-1. Panthers do get 7 hits, but commit a pair of costly errors and strand 8 base runners in the ball game. Dragons, meanwhile, 7 runs, pounding out 13 base hits. Do not commit an error in Game 3. Key point there. And they strand 10 base runners in the contest. In the 7th, Ramage strikes out 3 batters in between 2 hits and a walk. No errors, and he left them loaded. What a job by Cantorino and Ramage to pitch Carroll to a Game 3 win. Once again, your final score 7-1. Carroll with the win. We'll step aside for a break, and we'll head to the Meet You Anywhere Barbecue post-game show. It includes a visit with Larry Hughes, the head coach of the Carroll Dragons, some final stats, and we'll wrap up the series after these messages. Once again, Dragons win it 2-1, taking Game 1 2-0, losing Game 2 3-2, and winning Game 3 here today 7-1. Be back to Quick Trip Park after these messages on Champion Sports Radio.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores. 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting. It's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute, online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Are you looking for a way to promote your business or increase exposure? Do you just need more people to know that you're there? Join the Champion Sports Radio team and advertise during these games. In the last 4 years, Champion Sports Radio has broadcast over 600 games to more than 3.5 million listeners. And Champion Sports Radio wants to help you use major high school sports to reach thousands of local fans right in your community. Think about it. Die-hard fans just like you tune in each and every week, giving your business unparalleled access to the community. It's the perfect way for smaller individually owned businesses to cultivate a core clientele or expand their already loyal customer base. To secure your prime commercial spot during the broadcast, contact Thomas Lee at Champion Sports Radio by phone at 972-741-0334. That's 972-741-0334 or online at championsportsradio.com. Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcast.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShopboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShockboxDFW.com today. ShockboxDFW.com.
Let's start where your teams always seem to start, and that's on the mound. I want to talk about Michael's performance today, but, boy, the 1-2 punch you have in Cantorino and Kramer were spectacular for you, literally, for all 3 games.
Yeah, they really have. The way this the weather, kind of spread everything out, it worked out okay, but, boy, it was a little iffy there, pitching-wise. But it taxed our arms a little bit. But, I can't say enough about Matthew Cantorino and Kevin Kramer, the job that they did. And they've done it all year, and if they don't do that, keep us in the games like that, we're not going to have as good a chance to win. We've played good defense, making plays, but our offense really exploded today. It's what we're capable of doing. And when we put it all together like that, we can be pretty good.
Anything have to do with the fact that we didn't see anybody we hadn't seen before in this series today until the game was pretty much already put away? Coach Hines has a lot of arms to use, but he liked to go back to the same ones and just seemed like they weren't quite as sharp after they pitched earlier in the series.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do. The high school pitchers are not used to doing that, especially after you get by your two starters. Maybe your closers had some innings, just like ours struggled right here, at the end because, he probably hadn't had more than 10 innings because Matthew and Kevin have done such a good job. So it gets real tough in a series like this when you do have to bring guys back in and they are, a little bit tired, and of course everybody's fatigued by as late as we've been going to bed the last two nights, and it's just hard. But we swung at good pitches and we really drove the ball good today.
Take a look at that. You look at the scoreboard. You scored in 4 of the 6 offensive innings that you had, and I know that's what you've been waiting for this team to do this season. What was different? The approach? Was it just the patience, or is this one of those teams that just rises to the challenge?
I think we do rise to the challenge. In my 19 years here, really, even though we have new kids on the teams every year, that's really been a constant, for us. They do rise to the occasion. Even when our back's to the wall, we won, 3 years ago, we won like 8 elimination games and with that team. And, it's just, when your expectations are high and you've had a successful program, I think they feed off that, too. They don't want to be the one that loses in the first round. So
this obviously is an unbelievable 3-game series. A lot of people thought, Carroll, they lost 4 games in district. We thought they were good, but they weren't. But going up against one of the best in the state of Midlothian, has your team now made a statement that, yeah, we are as good as advertised, and while 7-6A may not get the notoriety it deserves, there are a lot of teams advancing out of there into the second round.
Well, really, this is, and I said this the other day, this is the toughest first-round opponent I think that we've ever had. And, the pitching's their strength, and you saw their arms. Boy, they had some good arms. I mean, we had to make them throw pitches, and not swing at bad pitches and get them out of the game and, and get those other guys in, try to get to the bullpen. And our guys did a real good job. We're not perfect, but, boy, as a whole, our 9 in that lineup, I just couldn't be prouder of them, really, in all 3 of these games against that pitching.
So impressed with the heartbreak of being 6 outs away last night, of ending the series 2-0, and the errors, which is so uncharacteristic for a Dragon Carroll baseball team, particularly under your tutelage and particularly in 2015. But the way they came out today, they had a grit, they had a fire, they had a determination, they weren't hanging their heads. It just goes to speak again about the great program you have.
Well, they don't hang their heads, and I just told them, sometimes I feel like yelling and screaming and, things like that when we have mental mistakes and stuff. But, hey, it all boils down to that's baseball. I mean, you can't be perfect all the time. You're going to have a bad inning. And that's really all I told them. I said, when we got home at like 1 o'clock in the morning, I just said, hey, we really played a good game tonight. We got a big hit. We had it right there in the 6th, and we had a bad inning. We uncharacteristically, made a few bad plays, and they capitalized on it. Give them credit for that. Hey, let's come back tomorrow and have probably real exciting thing for a coach to say. But let's come back tomorrow, which was today, and not have any bad innings. So I think we maybe accomplished that.
That's not so bad, Coach. You should give that advice every time.
Yeah, I'm real much of a rocket scientist here.
Well, Coach, I know it's been an exhausting week. You guys have got to be so pleased with getting through this tough first-round opponent. The Hemred Hawks wait for you next week, and we're excited to broadcast those games here on CSR TV. Congratulations. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
That's Larry Hughes, the head coach of the Carroll Dragons. 7-1, they win it here in Game 3. Take the series 2-1. We'll be back to Quick Trip Talk to wrap things up after these messages, final stats, and more when we continue in a moment on Champion Sports Radio.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2, 2009, Zachary Schraw, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
And welcome back here to Quick Trip Park for the final time this weekend. What a week. Dragons take it 2-1, winning game 1 2-0, dropping game 2 to Midlothian 3-2, and taking game 3 emphatically by a score of 7-1. 1 run, 7 hits, 2 errors, 8 left on base for Midlo. Dragons 7 runs on 13 hits, no errors, 10 left on base. And the story today is the pitching effort of Michael Cantorino. He was sensational. After throwing a very effective, nearly perfect 4 innings the other night, all he allowed was a man to reach on an error. He retired The other 12 batters that he faced threw 52 pitches, 35 for strikes, struck out 5 batters. That was Thursday. On short rest, comes back today and is dominant in 5 2/3. Threw 79 pitches, 58 of them for strikes. Just 5 base hits given up by Cantorino. He struck out 9 Panther batters, allowed 1 walk, 1 run. It was earned. Cantorino, the winner here today, just like he earned the win in Game 1 of this series. Not often in high school you have the same pitcher make 2 starts and get 2 wins. Bring in the Dr. Alex Sterling, and what we saw from him this week was really something special.
It really was. You saw how well he pitched in Game 1 before the rain delay took him out of the game, and just to continue it into Saturday on really 1 day of rest just shows the gritty nature of this team in general and how much Coach Hughes leans on him as the frontline pitcher on this team.
He handed it off to Cole Ramage to close things out. The sophomore Ramage with an inning in the 3rd. Did surrender 2 base hits, did walk 1 batter, but got 3 big strikeouts, all of them coming in the 7th. In that inning in the 3rd, threw 28 pitches, 15 for strikes, and Ramage helps Carroll cruise to a 7-1 victory. We saw 4 different pitchers, 3 of which we'd already seen in the series before from Midlothian. Jimmy Faust, the Game 1 starter, came back and was touched up for 3 runs, all earned. In an inning and a 3rd, he threw 40 pitches, 20 for strikes, surrendered 5 base hits, struck out 1 batter, and issued 1 walk. He gave way to Garrett Hopstead, and Hopstead pitched in all 3 games of this series. Again, a rarity in high school baseball, and partially because of the weather and the crazy nature of how these games in this series set up. Hofstad, 19 pitches thrown, 13 for strikes in 2/3 of an innings. He was hit 3 times, gave up 2 runs, 1 earned, did have a strikeout. Colton Moore came on in relief. He was lights out to close out Game 2. He was perfect, retiring the last 8 batters he faced last night. Today, not quite as sharp. 28 pitches thrown, 18 for strikes in 2 innings, surrendered 3 base hits, struck out 3, walked 1, allowed 1 run. It was earned. And Grant Adams came on at that point after the game was pretty much decided. And the senior threw 18 pitches, got 9 for strikes. He got through 2 innings himself. Surrendered 2 base hits, struck out 1 batter, allowed 1 run. It was unearned. But it all adds up to a 7-1 win for the Carroll Dragons. Offensively for Midlow, Zach Humphreys led it off. He was 2 for 4 in the contest, stole a base, never made it past second. Kyler Castillo in the 2-hole, the only man to hit the pay station. Singled in the first. He was 1 for 4 today with a run scored. J.B. Garrett, the junior shortstop in the 3-hole, 0 for 4 today against the combination of Cantorino and Ramage. Cole Roberts, cleanup hitting senior third baseman in the 4-hole, was 0 for 2, did work a walk. And one of only 2 Panthers to get to third today. 3 Panthers. Castillo did hit third on his way home. Hunter Puchalski, the designated hitter, was 2 for 3, hit an RBI double in the first and a single in the 4th. Blake Wilson, the senior left fielder, 1 for 3 in the contest. Jonathan Rakoff, 0 for 2, a pair of strikeouts. Caleb Bly hit for him in the 7th against Ramage and worked a 4-pitch walk. Chris Martinez, first baseman, 0 for 2, pair of strikeouts against Cantorino. Jacob Crenshaw hit for him in the 7th and struck out swinging against Ramage. And finally, the 9-hole, Jordan Johnson, 0 for 2. Austin Frazier hit for him in the 7th and singled. Adds up to 1 run on 7 hits. Carroll with no errors in the ball game, and Midlothian stranded 8 batters in the contest. Dragons, meanwhile, Drew Davis was the leadoff hitter. He was 2 for 4 today with a pair of RBI singles, once in the 3rd, once in the 5th. Casey Combs in the 2-hole, 3 for 4, an RBI, and a run scored. Eric Cole in the 3 spot, he was 2 for 4 with an RBI single, also singled and scored in the first inning. Nick Motley 1 for 4 in the contest. Zach Farrar in the 5-hole, the designated hitter, was 1 for 3 with an RBI single in the first, also worked a walk to lead off the 6th. Ross Cadena, the sophomore left fielder, did some serious damage. RBI single in the first, led off with a double in the 3rd, came around to score what was then the 4th run of the day for Carroll. Also singled in the 4th inning, 3 for 4 today. Ryan Bellamy, the right fielder, 0 for 3, but did reach on an error and score in the 3rd, did work a walk in the 1st inning as well. Brady Gonzalez was 1 for 2, singled in the third, walked and scored in the fifth. Soren Krug hit for him in the sixth and popped up to second. And Stephen Billington was 0 for 1 in the contest, did walk and score in the second. Sam Avers hit for him in the fifth, reached on an error, came around to score there as well. So 7 runs on an astounding 13 hits for the Dragons. A couple of Panther errors helped the cause. And the Dragons strand 10 base runners as Carroll advances to take on the Hebron Hawks in what should be a dynamite series next weekend here on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV. And, you know, Doc, as we look ahead to that Hebron series, you know what you're going to get from some solid pitching efforts from Hebron, and they've got some bats that can be right there. In fact, I would like to, and we will next week, put Motley and New Stifter's numbers up against each other. I think they both have 6 or more home runs. They both driven in over 30, and they're both just dynamite, explosive bats in the lineup. But, you know, Cole and Deloach facing off. I mean, a lot of similarities between the two teams. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is. When you're speaking of New Stifter and Deloach, that's their 2 main guys. Deloach contributes in center field and is one of their main pitchers, and New Stifter's just it's hard to describe him because and we noticed this when we covered Flower Mound when they played him in the district play, that a loud out is like a victory against that guy because he has ability to go yard every time he steps to the plate, and that whole team plays really well together. And just like what Carroll saw with Midlothian this time, it's going to be an ultimate team effort. They're going to have to play gritty, play perfect defense, and gut out some runs against a team that is one of the tougher teams to play in the area, judging how they got through the District of Death, finishing third, and was one of the top 3 teams in the area all year.
It's going to be a whole lot of fun. It'll be, I would imagine, a 3-game series. We'll have Coach Stone and Coach Hughes work out the details, and we'll have it for you on our Twitter feed at Champion Sports, on our Facebook page, Champion Sports Radio, all one word, facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, or just log on to championsportsradio.com, and we'll have the information there for you as well. So we recap things here in the playoffs. It's been a great day for Champion Sports Radio teams as the Marcus Marauders now in the bottom of the 5th. They're batting. They're 6 outs away from winning 2 elimination games today. If they complete that and come back and beat Geyer, Champion Sports Radio teams will be 4-0 in elimination games today. And all 4 will advance to the playoffs. Carroll 2-1 over Midlothian, 2-0 in Game 1, lost Game 2 3-2, and Carroll winning Game 3 7-1. They'll play Hebron, who swept Byron Nelson 4-0 and 9-5 in 2 games straight. Coppell, meanwhile, swept Cedar Hill 4-1 and 7-0 in a 2-game series. And Marcus trying to come back after dropping Game 1 to Geyer 4-2. They won Game 2 17-8, and now ahead 4-0 on Geyer in Game number 3. Jaguars, meanwhile, pushed by the Timber Creek Falcons, defending state champs, 4-0 in Game 1, lost 4-0 to Timber Creek in Game 2, won today 6-1 by a great pitching performance by Thomas Lauer. Trinity advances over South Grand Prairie after stubbing their toe Thursday night. Should have won there, led 4-2 going to the bottom of the 7th. Ended up losing to SGP 5-4. Trinity won Game 2 yesterday 13-4, and Game 3 today 6-4 over the Warriors. So it'll be Flower Mound and Trinity facing off next week as well. And the one series in the Region 1 tournament featuring Metroplex teams that will not be on Champion Sports Radio next week. Keller taking on Mansfield. Indians dispatched the Wildcats 5-1 and 4-2 in a 2-game sweep. Mansfield won Game 1 9-8. Richland came back in 9 innings and won 4-3 last night. And Mansfield with the 2-0 shutout over the Rebels here today. So as it stands, 7-6A with 3 teams advancing, Carroll, Coppell, and Trinity. And 6-6A looking to do the same if Marcus can hang on. They actually have added a run. They now lead it 5-0 as they head to the top of the 6. You can click on over and listen to Pete Nielsen call the game on CSR TV. But 3 teams from 7-6A, 3 teams from 6-6A, and then, of course, you've got the 2 outliers, if you will, the champion Keller Indians and the runner-up Mansfield Tigers, both advancing, and those 2 teams will play each other. But we've been talking all year, Doc, which district is better, 6-6A, 7-6A? We're going to find out next week as 3 different series will feature 2 teams from those particular districts.
It's going to be a great set of series. We thought this first week was going to be exciting and how tough it was going to be to get out of the first round. It just gets tougher from here, and all those teams are very talented, a lot of depth. All are highly rated in the area. It's going to be very fun here next week.
Well, that'll do it for the post-game show, brought to you by Meet You Anywhere Barbecue. Go to Meet You Anywhere Barbecue in Grapevine for the best barbecue in North Texas. Hey, great idea for dinner tonight. Online at meetyouanywhere.com. That's MEAT, the letter U, anywhere.com. Thanks to all of our sponsors of Carroll Dragon Baseball on Champion Sports Radio, season sponsor Meet You Anywhere Barbecue, game sponsors Alcorp Marketing and Nothing Bunt Cakes, Heritage Homes, and Priority Signs and Graphics. Inning sponsors include the following: Jeff Irwin State Farm Insurance Agency, the Heineman family, Speedy B Car Wash, Around the Plate Sports, Arizo Italian Street Food, Sports Meds Chiropractic, Classic Silks and Accents, and Paragon Design Group. Carroll Dragon Baseball is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio. On Twitter at Champion Sports, Facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and of course online at ChampionSportsRadio.com. Thanks everyone who worked the broadcast series this week. Sweet Pete Nielsen, who's now on assignment covering the Marcus Geyer game. Click on over and you can finish watching that one. Is there in the top of the 6th inning. Special thanks to the Dr. Alex Erling as well. For all of us, my name is Thomas Lee. Carroll wins it 2-1 with a 7-1 win here in Game 3 today. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week right back here on Champion Sports Radio.